Right now at 6, a former Stafford County Sergeant charged with receiving child sex abuse material, the latest details from court documents, and the FBI tip that led to his arrest. Plus, a teenager will now be charged as an adult after he is accused of shooting another teen at a mall in Wheaton last night. What officials say happened and what comes next. And a suspect is still on the run tonight after breaking into a nail salon in Bowie. Check this out. We have the surveillance video from the moment it all went down. Fox 5 News at 6 starts right now. But first tonight at 6, a disturbing case involving a local law enforcement officer. Federal investigators say a Stafford County Sheriff's Office sergeant used a messaging app to purchase child exploitation material. Fox 5's Regina Rita is out in Stafford now live with what court documents reveal. Regina, what can you tell us?
Yeah, well, Sydney, the FBI arrested a sergeant who worked for the Stafford County Sheriff's Office. He is now being charged with child pornography. Now, we obtained the affidavit where it reveals very disturbing description of what he purchased, or rather the material that he obtained. Now, take a look. This is 36-year-old. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so this is 36-year-old Justin Thomas Lee Forman allegedly purchased online material. This is Forman. The Stafford County Sheriff's Office tells me he is no longer a member with them due to personal conduct that goes against their policies. Now, according to the affidavit, agents launched an investigation after receiving a tip that linked an account of Forman with child sexual abuse material. On Thursday, investigators searched Forman's Fredericksburg home and confiscated about 16 electronic devices, including his cell phone. Detectives recovered hundreds of images and videos they believe contain child exploitation material. The affidavit reads, agents uncovered Telegram conversations in which Forman allegedly paid for disturbing material using cryptocurrency and PayPal. Now, Forman worked as a patrol sergeant with the Stafford County Sheriff's Office during the time outlined. Again, he now faces a federal charge for child pornography. So back out here, Forman has his first court appearance on Monday in the Eastern District of Virginia. We'll keep a close eye on that hearing when it comes. Back to you.
Regina, thank you. Other top headlines at this hour. Maryland's Attorney General is now investigating a deadly police shooting at Fort Washington Park. Officials say a Maryland National Capital Park police officer shot a man that was around 6 last night. We're told officers responded to a report there of a shooting and of a man walking near the river with a gun. No officers were told were injured. Still no word on if that man, who's not yet been identified, is accused of pointing or firing that weapon at the officer. The 17-year-old arrested in the shooting at Westfield Wheaton Mall last night will now be charged as an adult. Diego Rafael Avalos is accused of shooting a 13-year-old boy in the leg inside the mall near the Cinnabon. Police say that victim is in stable condition at this hour after he was injured last night. It's unclear if that shooting was targeted. Officials say they have recovered a gun from the scene. Avalos is charged with attempted second-degree murder and first-degree assault. This remains an ongoing investigation. And D.C. police are searching for a man accused of attacking another man in Northeast. This happened last night around 10:30 on Division Avenue. Police believe that victim was hit with the handle of a knife. No word yet on a motive. Now for a first check of your forecast this evening, taking a live look all across our region. Sun out earlier today as the humidity hangs around for the first day of August 1st, my mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Mama. Miss Jen Delgado is here now to say happy birthday to Hope and enjoy the weather.
I was already going to do it, but you just stole it from me.
I knew you were. I couldn't let you do it.
Happy birthday, Hope. We hope you are having a fantastic day, and we're going to send you something. Right? We're going to send her something. It would be nice if we could send her nice weather.
That's where I thought you were going.
You thought. No, we're going to use your credit card and we're going to buy your mom something nice for her birthday.
That's where I was going to.
We love Hope, and we hope everybody had a nice day outside. But as we look ahead for tonight, there is a chance we might see a few showers coming in, mainly from the south. Now, overall, the majority of the area will be dry, but as we go into this week, we're going to see an uptick in increased activity. So we look at our forecast. Those are the showers. It will be humid out there tomorrow. tomorrow, and then it's going to stay that way as we go through this week. We got a very unsettled summertime pattern on our hands. Here's the view outside right now. Our camera looking out in Loudoun County. This is a beautiful area right now, showing you the green trees, Reagan, as well as Dulles and BWI. Conditions remain dry. Trees are blowing around a little bit. People are still out there enjoying things. It feels like 90 degrees right now out at Reagan. Temperatures are in the 80s elsewhere across the region. 84 degrees in Manassas, and then 82 degrees in Martinsburg. So here's our satellite and radar. The reason why we're saying maybe a few showers and sprinkles as we go through the evening. This is part of Fauquier County, Charles, St. Mary's County. You had a few little showers there. I take away the clouds. Overall, much of the area will be dry, but Hartwood, potentially, you might get a little sprinkle going. Again, we'll just kind of see these storms popping up, pulsating, and then they just kind of weaken, but really they're going to try to become more widespread as we go through tomorrow. So we're getting the clouds ahead, boundary system to our south, and then area low pressure spinning across parts of the Midwest. Very unsettled weather pattern, and this is how we're going to stay. Ridge of high pressure to the west, keeping the extreme heat there. For us, tomorrow afternoon, high temperatures are going to be running a little bit cool, but we do have the potential to see some heavier rainfall when some of these showers and storms do develop. So we look at our planner ahead for tomorrow morning. 6 a.m. rain chances around, some storms possible in the midday hours, as well as off and on through the evening. Monday becoming more pop-up, but for your forecast for your Sunday afternoon, there it is, high of 85 degrees. Winds will be out of the south 10 to 20, so a hot and humid day. We'll talk more about how much rainfall we can get in just a few minutes. Sydney.
President Trump tonight is rejecting his own Justice Department findings. Yesterday, the DOJ moved to withdraw charges against David Hearn, the former Olympian accused of damaging the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro blasted the Interior Department in her filing, citing a rushed and botched renovation. Now today, the president says he disagrees with Pirro, insisting the majority of the damage done to the pool was caused by vandalism. I want to now bring in David Katz, a criminal defense attorney and former assistant U.S. attorney. Sir, thank you so much for joining us. A lot of attention on this story. I just want to start with Pirro's reversal. She pretty confidently said, I believe last month, that she had tremendous evidence that David Hearn had committed a felony. A 180 as quick and dramatic as this, is that common? And what does it signal to you?
Well, it's extremely uncommon, but it was also anomalous for her to charge this former Olympic athlete. It would be if she had charged anyone, but certainly this person with a rush to judgment. I mean, she really didn't investigate the charge. And I think from her point of view, and I used to know her, I remember being with her in the studio in New York City Fox. And she's a great commentator, but it's a different skill set to be the U.S. attorney. And she just can't do Trump's bidding. She just can't do what he wants. She has to be objective. She has to be fair. She has to do things based on the evidence. So all I think she can do going forward is to apologize to this Olympic athlete and to hope that he doesn't sue her. She really threw the Department of Interior and the secretary there under the bus, said that there had been a botched investigation, a botched repair of that pool, that it really was all on the Department of Interior, that they had not properly presented the case to her, that she was basically bamboozled and misled by the Department of Interior reports. Of course, the secretary now has gone with Trump and said, no, we reported it properly. So we need to get to the bottom of what happened there. But there's been a real miscarriage of justice here, a real unfair action to a U.S. citizen and to a former Olympic athlete, and really terrible. Pirro just has to be do the right thing, not go on witch hunts in the future. And if Trump fires her, he fires her. She can go back to Fox.
So, sir, you called this a witch hunt. President Trump said online today, as I'm sure you saw, that he disagreed with Pirro, that he didn't know what she was thinking. The president, we know, has made a very big deal of going after what he has dubbed politically motivated prosecutions in previous administrations. In your view, sir, does this at least present the appearance that the president could be pressuring his DOJ to prosecute in a way that benefits him politically?
I think this is another instance of him pressuring DOJ officials who should be independent. This is of a piece with getting Pirro to go after Comey, to get her to do other things, to pressure those Democratic senators on account of a videotape, which was completely proper. And, you know, Trump has he's lost a lot of his support. He's lost a lot of MAGA because instead of doing something about affordability and doing the things that he ran on, he's doing all of these grandiose projects, from the reflecting pool to the triumphal arch to the ballroom at the East Wing. He's doing all of those things that make it look like the tax immunity for himself and his family and his cronies. He's doing all those things that make him look like he's just out for himself, and not that he's out for the base that supported him and elected him the second time.
What does this mean for the other people who have been charged, accused of vandalizing the pool? The rest, I believe, faced misdemeanors, not a felony like Mr. Hearn. But does this help improve their defenses at all?
I think one of them was charged with a misdemeanor, and that misdemeanor has been dismissed. I think the other ones will be dismissed. One of the most telling things about what they now know, they claim it's newly discovered evidence, and that's why Pirro and DOJ are now dismissing these charges. They were only a few weeks away from trial. Otherwise, it would have been in D.C. Superior Court. And of course, a judge and a jury would have looked at it. And with that level of scrutiny, it would have been even more embarrassing for Pirro. And really, for Trump. Trump is embarrassing himself with these, these petty vendettas, this show-offishness in Washington, D.C. And I think it's really, it's not something that we saw. I was an assistant U.S. attorney in the Reagan administration. This is not something I ever remember happening in the Reagan administration. I followed cases all over the country. And this sort of thing just didn't happen, because at the end of the day, justice is the government always wins when justice is served. This wasn't an instance of justice being served. And a president, whether they're conservative, liberal, whether they're Democratic or Republican, when justice is done, the president looks good. And railroading people is not America. That's something out of a banana republic. And as I said, this guy, I think, will get his reputation back. I think he was lucky in that sense. And in terms of the other cases and how it's going to affect him, this report says that there was peeling in the middle of the reflecting pool. How could a vandal have gotten into the middle of the reflecting pool? So that's why I think that all these people are going to be cleared in the court of public opinion. And I think that they probably won't sue, especially because, the Republican administration is still in power. But it was a real injustice that was done. And all of us who believe in the rule of law, we want to see people who are really guilty charged, but we don't want to ever see people who are not guilty get railroaded, get witch hunted, get dragged through the system like this poor former Olympian was.
Well, sir, we so appreciate your time. We're out of time, so we're going to have to let you go. But thank you so much for joining us here on Fox 5. Your insight is very much appreciated.
Have a great weekend. Good to be with you.
You too. All right, so to come tonight in your news at 6, a breakthrough agreement as tensions remain high across the Middle East. What Hamas says needs to happen to disarm. Plus, the burgundy and gold is back. How fans are feeling with Commanders training camp now underway. We'll be right back.